Hey, what's up, everybody? We are Militia Uncut. Gang's all here once again. This is K. We got D. We got C, and then we got B. For those of you who might be new to the channel, this is Militia Uncut. This is our talk show where we discuss various topics. We just keep it real. We keep it authentic. Try to keep it as uncut as possible, obviously. And, yeah, this is what we do. For those of you who've been following with us, this is your first time seeing this setting. This is my house. We've been at my house before, but usually we've shot in the living room. This is my room, and we just doing it a little different. If you're a Patreon subscriber, you can see the production meeting that we had in this room. But yeah, and speaking of that, the Patreon is finally up. So in case you didn't know that, the description will be in the link below. Also follow us on Twitter and Instagram. I wanted to start off this episode today talking about how we are in week 15, everybody. 15 weeks strong. We've been doing this, yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like we've been
You okay?
That clap wasn't supposed to be that late. I promise you it wasn't. I promise you it wasn't.
So how do you feel about week 15?
I mean, you know, it's what do you mean? How you gotta be more specific? Like, what exactly?
How you feel about how far we've come? How you feel about our journey? You know, stuff like that.
I feel like it's been an interesting journey.
I have a good joke right now.
What's the joke?
How would he know? He's supposed to be here half the time. No, I'm joking.
That's the elephant in the room.
Well, you keep talking about
That's
it.
not the elephant in the room.
It is not.
No, that's not the.
I don't think that's the elephant in the room. Are we gonna title
That was
this
just a
episode
joke.
elephant in the room?
You have to talk about the
It
elephant.
doesn't matter.
I mean, you feel this way for a reason, though. You know.
I don't feel any type of way.
So, as a person who loves to talk to other people in terms of like how they're feeling, you know, you can't disregard somebody's feeling. Like the way they're feeling is the way they're feeling for a reason. You know.
But are you answering this question?
Oh, how I feel? I don't really know. Like it's cool. It's like it's what it is. That's how I feel about it. You know, it's great getting to hear your opinion and your other people's opinions on things, like and like just how we think. You know, like a lot of us have like the same way about thinking about things. And it's interesting to hear that. It's also interesting to hear how we disagree. You know, I think it's more interesting for the viewers, at least, when we disagree on something than when we agree on something, because that way we go back and forth arguing about something, and that's entertaining. That's what the people want to see.
I was gonna scream, "Are you not entertained?" Mad loud.
You should.
I should have, but now it's good. I might in another episode. I might do it randomly. It might come out.
Gotcha.
Right, well,
Don't worry about it.
feel about it.
Yeah, we'll just go around.
I'm surprised that we lasted this long. I'm surprised that we were able to actually consistently keep this shit going. I'm going to continue to be surprised at that. I like it though. It's its own kind of therapy.
Yeah, that's what I feel. I was gonna say that too.
Yo, I have so many jokes. Yeah. Well, I'm happy that I'm not sick no more.
That's
I'm
good.
happy that I can talk regular.
Getting your energy back.
Which means yeah. I got it now. See?
He brought it back. It was good, D.
It's my turn. Nah, it's been a nice journey. Okay.
I'm cool with it. It's harder than what I thought it would be. There's been a lot of issues and stuff, but the show's helped me on a personal level. I think there's certain issues that I've gone through that might have been tougher to get through had it not been for having you guys with me and doing the show and like talking things out. Being as honest as I've been.
Definitely forced us to talk about a whole lot more shit than we usually do.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever just talked about shit this long with each other. I don't
Not
think
really.
Talked about shit with nobody.
Not all together at the same time.
Or anyone for that matter.
That's what I just said. Like, I don't think I've talked about anything with anybody this fucking long.
Yeah. And like being as honest as I've been on the show, I think it's made me a little like it's liberating in a way. Because it's like I'm just on camera just talking and I'm just being honest about stuff that I normally wouldn't talk about like that, you know, but to just do it just because that's the nature of the show. Yeah, like I said, it's helped me. And I think a lot of stuff that I used to like carry in me, I don't anymore. I feel freer. Certain things just don't bother me as much anymore, which is good. And I just feel a little bit more confident with certain things. I feel like I can do things and make moves, which I haven't always felt that way. So, yeah. Also wanted to talk about highlights from the 15 weeks as far as like favorite moments or favorite episodes or whatever. One of my favorite moments, I think this was either week 10 or 11 or something like that. I showed you when we somebody said a joke and you and me reacted the exact same way, and it was like mad funny. And I didn't notice it until I had rewatched it, but I was like, wow, we really like, because we both leaned forward and clapped our hands, and then we did like the same like pose. It was like the funniest shit ever. That's one of my favorite episodes. I was going back through it through the earlier ones, the greatest finesse. You like when you was like, yo, who you know that sold the Brooklyn Bridge like twice. Like that shit was funny. And then what's another one? The one where we talked about Nipsey. I think that was a real episode for like all of us.
Yeah.
And then the Michael Jackson one was funny.
I was gonna say Michael Jackson, but not because it was funny. Because that one got the most attention.
Yeah,
because like the fact that one got the most attention.
Yeah, that one's been getting a lot of views. Yeah, those are some of my favorite ones. As far as my like least favorite ones, are probably my solo videos, just because like it's mad quiet and I'm getting like super deep, like about mad stuff. I went on a long like rant about the Oscars, like it's mad funny, but they're interesting though, those videos. But they don't have the same energy because everybody's not there. So it's like a little bit different. Like yours are good because like you're in the car, you're driving, like it's a little bit different. But me, it's just like me sitting in the car. So like, yeah. What about you, Yanni?
Favorite episodes?
Yeah, ones that you like. Or just topics that we've talked about that you liked. Either one.
I like when we talk about women.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it makes me happy, you know? Just makes me happy
It makes me happy.
to know that I don't feel crazy with some of the reactions that I get from women, and like I talk it through with you guys, and it's just like, yeah, I get that, or yeah, I don't get that. So
yeah,
it makes me feel better about the situations that happen to me.
Gotcha.
See, well, I'm gonna split this up.
Okay.
Out of favorite episodes, one is definitely the choke 'em till they pass out one. That's fucking hilarious. One is the Michael Jackson one, just because it got the most attention. And then one was like the early one when we were talking about the threesome.
Oh yeah.
That shit was funny. But
Yeah, that was funny.
besides the Michael Jackson one, even though that was kind of funny, my favorite parts of all the episodes, just when we're just talking shit.
Mm-hmm.
We're just saying dumb shit. That's my favorite episode.
Yeah.
That's my favorite episode. This is fucking hilarious. I can watch them shits now and still laugh my eyes with that shit. We say some dumb ass shit.
Oh yeah.
That
They're
shit
mad
is
funny.
hilarious.
I like the ghostwriting episode. That one was like a cool topic. What about you?
Oh, which episode are we?
Yeah.
I like all of them.
Really? That's what's up. Really? You really like all of them?
I don't like all of them.
Which ones don't you like?
Ones that don't make me like laugh like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like our serious conversation, but sometimes I don't be in a serious conversation mood.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I just want to be like I'm already stressed. I don't really need to hear stressful stuff all the time. Even though talking about the stressful stuff relieves the stress, hearing about the stressful stuff later doesn't really do much for me. But those are probably my least favorite. I don't not like them. They're my least favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Talking it when we're doing it is great. Listening to them later is just like, oh yeah, we said some real shit. But it doesn't make me like die laughing and shit. So
Yeah.
it's my least favorite. I don't hate them. It's just my least favorite.
Gotcha.
I say my least favorite is like when we get stuck a lot.
Oh, the dead space?
Yeah.
We've had that recently? I don't think we've had that.
Recently, no. I think we've been pretty good. Because we have like the topics that just kind of like take us to wherever it takes us. So that's always a good thing. Yeah. Part of me likes that the settings change every now and then, but also sometimes I don't. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of the car episodes, like all of us in the car.
I feel like that's when we have the most jokes.
Yeah.
I think like that'd be the most fun.
Yeah. But it's like it's harder because like in the car episodes we're not all there. So but I do like we do have good energy in the car.
I like the car energy. Because the Michael Jackson one was in the car. Was Choke 'em Till You Pass Away.
It was in the
that
car.
was in the car.
I mean, a lot of them have been in the
Yeah,
car.
my favorite ones
honestly.
are all in the car. Yeah, those are my favorite. I like the car episode. Hergen Durgan was in the car.
Oh yeah.
Hergen Durgan. That was in the car. The car energy is my favorite.
Yeah. But yeah, I just like the vibes we've had on the show. I think it's been really dope. One topic that I wanted to discuss real quickly. Well, as I've told y'all before, it seems like it's not happening because it's like been weeks. But I'm moving. I'm gonna be living with my father. So this might be the last episode we do in this house because I don't know how many more weeks I have in this house. Been in the process of moving stuff, taking stuff out. Like I said, the way the camera is, you can't really tell. But I've been getting rid of some things, transferring stuff over. And me moving, that's like a big thing for me because I've lived here my entire life. So not being here anymore like is gonna be hard, like knowing that I actually like can't come in here and someone else is gonna be living here, like all that stuff is gonna be like a lot to adjust to. But I've lived with my dad before though, and living with my dad is like a pretty chill vibe, and my uncle, so I'm all like for that.
I would actually like to move. Speaking of the topic, move where to? I think I'm at the point where I want to have my own space, kind of away from. I still live with my parents. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I kind of want my own space, and I think within the next year I'll be able to do that.
I'm sorry.
Like, what was that?
This is some Ouija board shit.
Yo,
You ever
what
see
the
more
fuck?
movies with the kid be doing some weird shit in the corner and the other niggas on the screen like, get the fuck away from that? Yeah, that was what the fuck he's doing. This nigga was drawing pictures with cup sweat. Move it. Move it. It is hot as fucking here. Move
I
it.
know. I was trying to ignore it, but when you looked at him, you were just like,
It's like,
Like, are you dead?
I was just watching a movie called The Prodigy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a crazy ass movie. That's
Was
what
it
it's
good?
about to be. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Because I saw the commercials for it, but I didn't want to see it.
If you like those kinds of movies, which I do, then.
So what exactly happens in it? I mean, or unless you, I don't want to like change.
Oh well, to finish that topic, yeah, moving. I fucking hate New York. I hate where I live at. I want to leave too. He wants to leave too. Prodigy. Alright, so if you're gonna see the movie, I'm sorry, spoilers. But, alright, so this little boy gets born. Okay, alright, I'm skipping ahead.
What are you doing?
He's being a prodigy. Alright, so it starts off with a serial killer who gets caught. The serial killer gets caught, and he gets caught because his final victim gets away and calls the police. So they kill that nigga. Baby is born. You know the whole saying, you know, some man dies, baby is born. That's basically what the fuck this is. But so baby is born, who's like really, really fucking smart. Like it's hitting its like levels, like the step baby's supposed to hit, it hits it extremely fucking quick. So the kid starts acting weird because it's a fucking horror movie, and that's what horror movies do. Eventually, the little nigga gotta start acting weird. So they're trying to figure. He just keeps escalating in his like violence and shit, and he starts saying shit and doing shit that not only is he too young to know about, but like nobody, like not even his parents, would know about the shit that he knows about.
Yeah.
So they take him to a specialist because the doctors don't know what the fuck is wrong with him. And the specialist starts talking about how he's on some, do you know what I specialize in? And he was talking about reincarnation. And he was talking about how, you know, if somebody dies but they don't feel like they fulfilled their purpose, they can come back and they can't leave until they fulfilled their purpose. And then they were showing other kids who knew shit about like decades and decades before they were born, and because all that reincarnation shit.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out, this little nigga is the reincarnation of the serial killer that got killed.
Oh, shit.
Now, this little nigga crazy. Like, the serial killer nigga's wild crazy. He says some wild, flagrant shit. We don't have to get into that. So then, once the mother finds out that this little nigga's actually this serial killer, they're like, alright, now that we found out who it is, we have to figure out why he's still here. So now they're running around trying to figure out what could he have possibly not done so that he can get out of this little nigga's body. Finds out the thing he hasn't done is he never got to kill his last victim. So now the mother's stuck. This bitch is like, alright, murdering somebody is wrong, much less murdering an innocent survivor. What was that?
Reels.
Ignore that shit. Just hit the button. Don't hit the ignore button. Just
Hit the
side button.
Yeah, the side button.
So she's stuck. She's like, alright, killing an innocent victim is wrong, but I want my little son back. So she packs that nigga in the car, puts him to sleep because she don't trust the little nigga sitting behind her.
Yeah.
Gets a gun and drives miles to where the survivor of this nigga lives. So the whole time she's in this bitch's house, contemplating, how am I gonna do this? I know this is wrong. Goes to the bathroom, gets her mind right, comes back, backs out on the bitch. Cool. Bitch got cold feet. She can't do it. Well, guess what? Little nigga woke up and he could definitely do that shit. He stabs the fuck out this bitch.
Oh, shit.
And then his mother... Who is that?
Your mom.
Ignore that too. Hit the button. This bitch...
Calls today.
Gonna be me
This
next
bitch
time.
tries-
That's what I'll call it.
This
Who's it?
bitch-
Me.
tries to revive the woman that she came to kill, that her son ended up actually killing. Because that's when she realizes the shit is wrong.
Wow.
But the bitch dies. So she runs after her son because the son dipped.
Mm-hmm.
In this field, she finally finds the nigga. And she's like, alright, leave my son's body. You got to do what you wanted to do. Dead ass?
Oh, it's normal, man.
I want to hear the rest of the story.
Yeah, he got interrupted like, oh, I thought you were going to answer.
Oh, no, I still ignored that.
Oh.
I ignored it with a text message this time. So, she's like, yeah, get out my son's body. You killed the bitch. That, you're good. This nigga looks at her and he's just like, oh, nah. You know when the last time, because this nigga used to switch. He used to be the serial killer and then he used to be the kid. This nigga was like, oh, nah, do you know the last time you actually spoke to your son? He was like, the last time he said that he loved you and which you always loved me. Yeah, I killed that little nigga after that. And that was like weeks back. He was like, yeah, ever since then, it's been me. The whole time. Your son's dead. It's a dub. So, she gets so tight that she pulls the gun back out.
Yeah.
Backs out on this little nigga. Talking about, nah, you're not gonna take my son's body. Well, to onlookers, it looks like a grown-ass woman aiming a gun at a child.
So they kill her?
They blow her shit back. And then this little nigga gets adopted by another nice family. And the whole time he goes into this new family's house, he's looking at the mom like, oh yeah, you're the next victim. And that's how the shit ends.
So this is going to be number 2, basically.
They might. They could not.
That's crazy.
I did want to speak. You didn't see it.
Horror movies are
Avengers,
low-key
did you?
tragedies. I told you.
I know, but I couldn't live with the fact that you didn't see it yet, because I did want to talk about that.
We can talk about it. I kind of know how it ends.
You know how it ends?
Kind of.
I don't want to spoil anything for you. Like
I don't care about spoilers. I just spoiled a whole movie.
Yeah, but it's a movie you've seen that we didn't want to see.
Wow.
Yeah,
I don't care about spoilers. You've seen it. You've obviously seen it. Have you seen it? Okay, so yeah, I don't care about spoilers, and you guys have seen it already. So.
It's up to you.
When we're talking about movies, you might as well.
I mean, we got, yeah.
What do you guys think?
We could do. You just called this the recap episode because we just been recapping a lot of shit.
Recap? Yeah, I like that. Avengers. Endgame. There's a couple of things that made me a little upset on just watching it. Number 1, Captain Marvel.
Okay, everybody's been saying like Captain Marvel's trash in this movie.
That's because she is. She is like. First of all, she just shows up, saves Tony from almost dying because at the end of fucking
He still
Infinity.
dies.
I mean, he still dies, yes, but like at the end of the Infinity War, he was almost dead in space. She shows up, saves him, then disappears to the end to almost lose again. Like she was just useless throughout the whole thing. And what really blew my mind was I didn't see Captain Marvel, so she shows up. She's like got all these powers. I'm like, why is she so OP? Where was she? And if she's out there saving all these planets, where was she 3 years ago when Thanos was terrorizing the universe? I thought she was defending the universe. So that right there, that kind of blew mine. And then, second of all, speaking of Iron Man, Iron Man pulled off some Naruto shit, some hidden miss jutsu something. Like, he said, nah, nigga, you don't got the stones, I got the stones. It was all a fake, it was all a ruse. That shit kind of blew mine, because he could have just done that in the first place.
Yeah, but it cost him his life, so he didn't know that that's how. And
Yeah,
wait, when you say in the
was-
first place, you talking about in Infinity War? Because
Like when they first showed up, like when they got blown to bits and like everyone's standing right there, they should have got the stone and just snapped them all away. Because still, Doctor Strange is like, there's only one way it's gonna end. One way. Like I've seen all the possibilities. It's only gonna end this one way. So
yeah, but he didn't.
But he never
done
told
it.
him that one way because
He never
the
did.
only reason why is because Tony would die, and if Tony knew, most likely he's not going to do that.
But here's the
Or he'd
thing.
hesitate, and then something else would happen.
But
Do
the
you
thing
think
about
so? I
that
feel like
is
Tony is the type of one that would probably risk it.
he would.
No.
But the thing about that
That's
was.
the one way. Like he said, either he wouldn't do it or he would hesitate. So.
But the thing
That's what
about
I'm
that, and like to that point, is he already built in that second like mechanic, like the mechanic to take the stones from the gauntlet to his suit. Like he already has that functionality in his Iron Man suit. So like, if that's that one way, like, and he should have known that was the one way. Number one, that was fucking these niggas up anyway.
Well, they were hoping that because remember, the main goal was to get the stones so that they could bring everybody back to life. It wasn't use the stones to kill Thanos. Like, they thought that they could defeat Thanos a different way, and that was the plan at first. But when he came out of nowhere and started blasting on everybody and shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, cause the thing about it, they didn't even know Thanos was still, like, they didn't know that past Thanos was alive to come, like, to be looking for them. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit with the movie, so there's some parts that you don't know.
I can kind of, I know superhero movies. I can kind of piece it together. Like, it's not hard to piece it together.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I wasn't expecting this movie to do what this shit happened.
Yeah, it was a little
You guys
wild,
are
right?
making me want to see it. The only thing I was tight about, I wanted Thanos to win.
I did too.
But he wins an Infinity War, which you need to see. Also,
That's like a winning the battle but losing the war. Like, no, I want you to
He
win.
got his head cut off in the beginning of the movie. Like, first 5 minutes, I think, some dumb shit like that. First half an hour.
Why do you want Thanos to win?
I told you because I grew up on the comic books. Like, in the movies, Thanos is the bad guy. In the comic books, he's not a bad guy. He's just misguided. His heart is in the right place. His actions is just like fucked up.
But it's like that in the movies too. You have to see Infinity
Oh, is it?
War.
Yeah, okay, well then support. That's why I want him to win because he's not necessarily like. I see why he did what he did. That's
Makes
why
sense.
it's just like fuck. Like, yeah, you kind of had to be put down, but it's just like, damn, nigga, like you was just trying to do the best you.
But
like it's fucked
I don't know.
up.
The way I look at it is, in Infinity War, he already got his win, and honestly, in a way, it's still permanent. Like, it still has weight to it. Like, you have to see the movie to understand what I'm saying. But like, just because they stopped Thanos in this movie, it doesn't mean that everything that's happened like is just automatically undone and reversed. Like, there's consequences to what happens. So it's still like the weight of the first snap is still there after.
I gotta see it.
Yeah, like they will be forever affected by it. Like, it's not like it's just back to the way it was before Thanos. That's not what happens.
Okay, well, I gotta see it.
Yeah, the way that they do it is different than what I expected.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see it.
The Rat is the real MVP of the movie, though.
No, the Rat is.
See, now you're making me question. When the Rat is the Rat.
No, the Rat is the real MVP.
I don't know if I want to say shit.
No, you gotta see it. You gotta see what I'm talking about. It's a joke, but you gotta get.
It's the
You gotta
sixth
get what I'm
Avenger.
talking
He's
about.
the sixth man.
Really,
talking
well,
about the
seventh,
Rat?
really.
You're talking about the Rat from the
No, just the Rat.
the group.
No, that's a raccoon.
Oh.
No, I mean like an actual.
An actual
rat.
city rat, like the ones you see in the,
Okay.
in the
I don't
subway.
see shit.
No.
This is ridiculous.
No, relax. It's not what I mean. It's literally like a second in the movie. It's not a big thing. I'm making a joke.
But he's so serious. It's like the reason why.
I'm
they're...
gonna see it. I feel like
I don't even remember what y'all talking about.
stupid as hell.
With Ant-Man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why it's a joke.
It's the only reason why you know.
Yeah.
No.
This shit's about to be different.
True.
Okay.
Hey man, I cried.
I did too. I did too.
What parts did you cry at?
What is it? What made you cry?
I cried at when Tony died.
Well, I cried when they all got there.
Oh, when they all came back?
When they all came back, I was like,
Oh, you had tears of joy? That was lit. That was lit. That was lit.
oh man.
Nah, the way from Tony's death to the funeral, that whole section of the movie, like,
You're just bawling your eyes out.
yeah, I was tearing up because like
Is your dad crying too?
I don't know, I don't think so, but he felt it, but he was mad. Honestly, he was like, man, I didn't want him to go out like that, but it was like a hero's.
I told you, Iron Man is my favorite one out of all of them niggas.
Yeah. But
I say Thor's my favorite.
Thor's become one of my favorites, but
The only reason Thor can't be my favorite is because Ragnarok was trash.
What? You don't like that?
I like
I kind of like that.
I don't like Ragnarok as much as other people do, but Ragnarok is wild funny.
Yeah,
but
it's just funny.
I kind of don't like that it's a comedy. Like Ragnarok, because Ragnarok is a bigger event than what they made it in the movie. Like
Ragnarok is supposed to be like Armageddon.
Yeah, Ragnarok is like the end of the world.
Yeah.
So it's like
or the end of their world.
Yeah,
but I mean, it was the end of their world.
Yeah, but the way, even in the movie, the way they did that was like they made it a joke. Like I kind of didn't like that. But other than that, like Ragnarok is like a funny ass movie. But I give it a pass because it's so funny. But I wanted Ragnarok to be a different kind of movie. That's the only reason. I like the first Thor better than Ragnarok personally.
What's his name? Korg?
Yeah, Korg is hilarious.
Korg is the fucking guy.
I didn't even think he was alive. So when I saw him in Endgame, I was like, oh shit, Korg. Yeah.
You saw Ragnarok?
I saw Ragnarok. The only movies I didn't see were the two Avengers. This is the last two Avengers. Are the only two I didn't see. I've seen every other movie.
I would watch the last two, if anything.
Yeah, I told you, you just have to watch Infinity.
I gotta watch Infinity War.
Personally,
They're
I like
making
it.
another one, right? This
Another Avengers?
Yeah. No,
I don't.
that's
it. If they do, it's with new people though. Like it's gonna be the next generation.
That's trash.
It won't be Captain America. I mean, Cap wasn't really my favorite.
Why is Captain America the first Avenger?
Because he was technically
it was in
the
40s.
oldest. Yeah, it was in the 40s.
But there were no Avengers in the 40s.
That's why he's the first.
That's dumb.
You're the first Avenger because you came first. That makes sense.
If the Avengers are a group and there's no group, how are you the first of the group?
He's the oldest.
Because didn't Iron Man start the Avengers?
Nah. He's just the first movie, but Iron Man didn't start the Avengers.
They just kind of just assembled.
Technically, the Avengers are...
That's what I kind of mean. Like, he got them together, so didn't he start
I think
the
but
Avengers?
Fury got them together.
Yeah, Fury got them together, not Iron Man. Because originally, Iron Man didn't even really want to be in it.
Did Nick Fury get Captain America first?
Yeah, because they were in
Did he
SHIELD.
get Cap first?
Do you see what I'm saying? Why that doesn't make sense? That's my only question. Do you see why him being the first Avenger doesn't really make sense?
I get it, but I never really overthought it like that.
I overthink everything.
I know. If anything, technically, no, she's not. I was about to say, if anything, Captain Marvel is actually the first Avenger, but she's not. She just inspired the name. But that's it.
Wait, so Captain Marvel was supposed to happen before?
The movie Captain Marvel takes place in the 90s when Nick Fury's younger.
Oh.
And he meets her, like, in chronological order, she's the first person with superpowers that he ever meets. And in the movie, she was a pilot. Her call sign was Avenger. So when he creates the Avengers Initiative, he names it after her. So technically, she's the first Avenger, but not really, because he just named it after her.
I don't think that's technically her being the first.
That's what I'm saying, like, not really.
Who was the first one that Nick Fury tried to make an Avenger?
Technically, Iron Man.
Then Iron Man is the first Avenger. That was my whole point in the beginning. But
yeah.
Well, you decide. Let us know down in the comments what you think the first Avenger was.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't comment what you think the first Avenger is. I don't care.
Do comment.
Do comments.
Yeah, and recap. Let us know what you think of The Prodigy, Endgame, all that stuff. Tell us what you think about.
Leave a comment. Comment some other movies I should watch.
Yeah.
Because I have nothing but time.
And first and foremost, comment about what you think about our show and your favorite moments on Militia Uncut. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let your friends know. We got the links to the Patreon, the Twitter, and the Instagram all in here. So you do that. And as always, we'll give you something to talk about.
Here.